Let's go see what's next. Hey Cheryl, what are you holding there and what is this big machine all about?
Well, this is where we make our plastic clarinet bodies.
And these are going to become the holes.
Yep, those are some of the holes. Some are being raised and some will just be made into the plastic.
Okay.
How we create this is we use what's called a CNC machine, which stands for Computer Numeric Control. Basically, we program the computer, the machine, to do what we want it to do. So we program the machine to cut out all the post holes and the tone holes, because this would be really hard to do by hand.
Right.
So it goes from that to this. So you can see we now have tone holes where keys can be put onto, and we have post holes because the posts will actually hold the rods that hold the keys.
Sure. And that happens inside there.
Yep, so we load the joints into the machine, and a cutting tool will come down and actually cut all of the holes out onto the body.
And how many can it do in one day?
In one day we do close to 40, but each run we can do 8 joints in about an hour and 20 minutes.
Oh, 40 a day seems to be the number of woodwind instruments.
For each. So
Okay.
we're going to run about 40 flutes a day and 40 clarinets a day.
Fantastic. It's a very active place.
Yes.
We just walked across the parking lot into another building and it smells completely different in here. What is this all about?
Well, that smell, that's grenadillo wood. So when we were just talking about plastic clarinet bodies, we do make wood clarinets too. So,
Is that what this is here?
yep, we use grenadillo wood, which is a wood found in 2 countries in Africa. And that's the wood that we use on all of our more intermediate clarinets. And we have a bass clarinet we make out of it also.
So this is going to eventually be a clarinet.
It is. So that'll end up probably being a bass clarinet. You can see how much bigger the body tubes are.
Right. And it's already got the ribs on it to put it together.
It'll end up being the same concept as the plastic bodies we saw, except we now have a wood tube, and we've got those same chimneys that we saw in the plastic body.
Okay.
We have a similar machine that's going to do what we saw in the plastic bodies. It's going to cut out all the tone holes, and it's going to cut out all the post holes.
And would this then eventually be more expensive than a plastic one?
It is. It is quite a bit more expensive than a plastic because the material, wood itself, is more expensive. It's a little harder to work with, a little more difficult to manufacture. So,
But in the end, we'll have maybe a nicer
but
sound.
it's a better instrument. So this is going to be a higher level instrument with the wood body.
So if you practice a lot and work a long time, you might work up to an instrument like this after you've
Right.
mastered the plastic clarinet.
Right. Exactly.
Great. Well, here's a wall full of keys and of all different shapes and sizes. What's going on?
Well, this kind of shows you how our plating process works. I don't know if you know that plating is an electrical process.
Is that right?
It
How does
is.
that work?
Well, there's a lot of chemicals involved, but it is electrical, so we do string up all of the components onto grounding wires before they get dunked into the chemicals. So this is what they'll look like before they go into plating. So you can see they're buff, they're shiny.
They're solid, or they're brass, and they're shiny
Yep,
and all ready to go.
They're brass. These are flute keys, so
Okay.
they're ready to go into plating.
When those come out,
When they
they'll
come
look
out,
like
they'll
this.
have copper on them. And metals adhere really well to copper, especially nickel adheres really well to copper, which is why we always put a coating of copper.
So it doesn't
first.
scratch so easily, or it just is stronger?
It'll make the silver and the nickel adhere to the key better than
Okay.
if you just went straight into silver and nickel
So we
plating.
went from copper or from the brass to copper, and finally,
And now we finally go through nickel plating or silver plating. So this is what they'll look like after they're completely finished.
well, I think we're almost ready to assemble these things.
Almost.
So it seems like we're here where it all comes together. The last place is where everything combined and we make an actual clarinet. Is that right?
Right, so we've made the keys, we've made the bodies, and now we just got to put everything together. So this is what's called finishing.
Okay.
So the bodies will come to the finishers and they have the posts and the springs on them, but you can see we're missing all of the keys.
That's right.
So that's what the finishers are doing.
It looks like very delicate work.
It is. There's a lot that goes into it, a lot of handwork. So they'll put all of the keys onto the bodies and make sure the springs all have the right tension, the keys are all in adjustment correctly, so there's a lot to it.
So when this group of folks right here gets finished with their job, is the clarinet finished?
Well, not really. It is technically put together, but we do send it to a tester because every single instrument at this facility is play tested before it goes out the door to
That
make
makes a lot of
sure that
sense.
everything plays right. So it'll go from the finishers to the testers, and then it'll go in the boxes and ready to go to you, the customer.
And how long does it take to make one clarinet from start to finish?
Well, it's kind of hard to measure because every different area of the factory is doing different things at different times, but it would probably take a week and a half to 2
If you
weeks
condensed it all together.
if you measured every step
But
from
you're
start
making
to
lots,
finish.
since you're making lots of different parts at different times.
Right.
then that's
Because
not
of
good.
the way that we have efficiency in the plant and each area has different goals on what their output is, we get around close to 40 clarinets and 40 flutes finished and out the door every day.
Every day. Well, that's fantastic, and it's fun to see it all come together. Hopefully, in our next station, we can actually hear one of these instruments being played. Well, we must be at the final stop because I'm looking here at this table full of instruments that look like they're about complete.
They are. This is the sampling of the final product. So after all the process that you've seen, this is what they end up making.
And tell us what each of these instruments is. I mean, obviously this is a flute.
Yep,
I
this is
can
a
tell.
flute that you should all be familiar with. Okay. This one looks like a mini flute, doesn't it?
Yes.
Same thing, just smaller. This is a piccolo.
And do you play that the same way as you play a flute?
Yeah, you have to have tighter muscles, tighter embouchure when you play it, but it plays an octave higher than a flute.
And so
the,
same
the
fingerings
fingerings
are
are
the
going to
same.
be the same and everything. So
Fantastic.
that's a piccolo.
Beautiful.
This is our B-flat clarinets. So we've got a couple of plastic student clarinets.
Okay.
And then we've got a couple of the wood models. So we
Beautiful.
saw some of the grenadilla wood. So this is a more intermediate or entry-level professional model in the grenadilla wood.
Now, what are these big things over here?
All right, so these are both bass clarinets. This one's plastic. This one's made out of grenadilla wood, so it's a higher level.
Okay.
And then this is a contrabass clarinet.
That is a huge clarinet.
It really is. It's taller than me if you stand it up on the floor.
Well, that was so fantastic to see all of these instruments come together like they did. And now, if only there were somebody that could actually show us what they sound like.
Well, John, I am a flute player.
I knew you were going to say that. Fantastic. Somehow I just knew you would be. Can you play one of them and show us what it sounds like?
Sure.
What a beautiful sound. Did you teach flutes?
I do teach private lessons and I do play in the area.
Well, Shara, I just want to say thank you so much for taking us through this marvelous factory. Everybody here at Consomer has been so generous with their time, and to spend your life making something so beautiful as this must be very rewarding. Hopefully, maybe some of our Music Express viewers here will be inspired by seeing how it's all done to maybe pick up a flute or a clarinet or a bass clarinet and learn how to do it yourselves. It's a very exciting process from beginning to actually making music. So thank you very much. And for John Jacobson and Music Express, I just want to say, be nice to your teacher, keep practicing, and we'll see you again real soon.